What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. This is TW Motorsports, and today kind of sucks, and let me tell you why. First of all, it looks like it's really nice out, but it's not. It's really cold. Well, it's not that cold. It's about 40 degrees, I'd say. And as you guys all know, I've got a ton of stuff torn apart here. I still haven't got the truck aligned because we have had salt and snow every other day, it seems like, and the roads still aren't cleaned off, so I am not driving this thing. The Corvette, obviously I don't want to drive it in the rain or the snow, mostly just the snow. The rain doesn't really bother me as much. The Trans Am's torn apart. My wife's SS is torn apart, like way torn apart. And so really the only daily drivers, because the 52 doesn't run either, I only have two daily drivers right now, guys. I have all these cars and everything's wrong or everything needs something. And that is something this year I want to fix. I want to get more stuff accomplished. I want to finish a project and then move on to another one. That's why I'm so hard pressed on the SS, and we are getting it going. So I really wanted this video to be on that, but here's the problem. My wife came home the other day. I've been driving the Tahoe every day. She's been driving this, and you could see the dirt and nastiness, the salt and everything on them. But she turned the corner just up the road here, and the battery light came on, and it said service charging system. Well, when I got home, the thing was just whining. The alternator was making all kinds of noise. You guys can see I've moved the car seat already, but I don't buckle my kid in the front, so don't freak out. Anyway, we have to change the alternator on this thing today. So hopefully it's not too big of a job. It's right here on the top. Seems to be pretty easy to access, but that is what we're going to be doing today. Now, like I said, downside is I really want to work on this other stuff, like really bad. I want to work on other stuff, but we've got to get this fixed because it's a daily driver and we have to have it. So until we get something else wrapped up, we got to fix the stuff that's wrong with this. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to get under the back seat. If you guys didn't catch my video, I did have to put a battery in this thing not long ago, and the back seat is where the battery hides. Pull up on the front of the seat, pull it forward, and there's your battery. So I'm going to unhook the negative terminal. Should just be a 10mm or maybe an 8mm, it almost looks like. We're going to go grab a wrench, get that undone, and then we'll start taking that alternator off. So it is actually an 8mm that we're going to use to just take the negative cable loose. Once we get that loose, then we'll be able to go up in the front and see what we need to get out of the way in order to do the rest. Pretty easy there. If you guys didn't know where the battery was, that's where it is. So I think I'm going to have to take the engine cover off, which is not a big deal. I'm going to set you guys up on a tripod so it's a little easier for you to see. We need to get the engine cover off in order to get this out of the way, and so if you just turn your oil fill, it'll be loose in the front, and you just pull forward. Not a whole lot holding it, really. Now that we've got that out of the way, I am going to put this back into place just in case something decides to fly in there. We need to get the belt tensioner loose, and I believe it's a 15mm. We'll get the belt off, and then we'll start unhooking all the parts that hold this together. There's really not a whole lot. We're going to have obviously a cable here. Looks like it's a little charred. So we'll have to unhook the bolt here, and we'll talk about sizes here in just a minute. But let's see if I can go ahead and, ooh, this is crusty. I have to replace a couple lines too. You can see that it's obviously gotten warm in here. Get that out of the way, and like I said, I'm going to go grab 15. We'll get the belt off. And I was right, it is a 15. And so we need to swing this forward and see if we could slide the belt off one of the pulleys down here. And once we get it loose, then we should be able to get it off the alternator here. And I believe these are 13s or 15s. This seems to be a 15 here. And of course it's a 10 on the other side. But I believe this is a 15 as well. And it is. And it also smells, guys, so it smells like kind of a burning wire smell. So like I said, it was making a ton of noise. I don't know that the camera would have picked it up, but definitely think it's bad. I am going to run it into town and have it tested. I won't show you guys that, but Alright, I'm going to go grab the 10. Get this bracket. There's a bracket that runs all the way to the back of the head. Get that out of the way, and we should. I think there's only 2 bolts that hold this, unless there's one on the bottom I can't see. You're long-winded. Now, as I said, this big bracket here has a 10mm on the other side. Get it out of the way, and that bracket should pop loose. Or so we hope. And then we can get our other 15mm out. Here's the first one, and actually, guys, there is another 15 back here on the back side of this, so 3 total, and you can see it's already moving. Which is good news. I didn't want to spend all day doing this. I want to do other stuff for you guys. It is loose. Now, all we have to do is get this loose, and it looks like we might get lucky. It might be a 10. It is a 10. And I'm really hoping not to drop this. We are loose. So now I'm going to take this to the store. Sorry, I kicked the camera. But I'm going to take this thing to the store, have it tested, but like I said, I know it's bad. So get another one. Normally I would like to order one, but because I'm in a pinch and wouldn't need it today, it doesn't work that way always. So it didn't make any noise like it was. But when I get back, we'll show you how to go the opposite direction, putting this new one back on. So we're back from the parts store with the new alternator, and at least it looks better, right? So even if it doesn't work, hopefully it looks better. Anyway, so I had them test the old one. It was only putting out 8 volts, and the bearing was bad. And that's what I was hearing, is the bearing noise. So we are ready to get this thing back into place. And really, guys, it goes right back the way it started. I'm going to start with this bottom one. Get it started at least. And then we will put the 2 15s back where they go, the little short one. And the long one. And then we'll get them ran down. There we go. And then we'll hook up the wiring. before we hook the wiring up, we obviously have one more piece here, that 10mm that came out of the back for this bracket, and then the 15 that went on the top. And then also, guys, before I hook up the wiring, I told you it was a little crusty here as far as the wiring goes. I think I'm going to rewrap this in tape, or maybe even some wire loom, just to give it a little bit of extra security. I don't think anything's going to be a problem, but I don't want it to be either. So we'll get these tightened down, and then we'll get on that wiring. Like I said, I'm just going to put some loom on it, maybe a little tape, and then we can plug it in. All we got to do is hook up our main power source, that cable on the back, the 10mm, and plug this guy in. And then we'll put the belt back on and see what we got. So I cut these two pieces of wire loom to fit over this junk, and hopefully it will. Looks like it's going to. May have to trim it just a hair. That old stuff is worn out, guys. Well, now we got that. We'll go ahead and plug it back in. And then I did get a small piece for this as well, because it just looks like it was not necessarily rubbing, but could have caused a problem down the road. And I did save my bolt or nut off of the stud here, but the new one actually came with one, so I guess I have an extra, which would be good, guys. If you accidentally dropped it down there and couldn't find it, you'd have a backup at least. And don't get crazy tightening to the stud. Just nice and snug, and make sure that your boot's back where it goes. And now all we need to do is get the belt back in place. So it looks like it's fallen off a majority of the pulleys down here, which is pretty normal. That's okay. Just have to route it back around them. And if you have no idea how it routes, there should be a belt guide on the vehicle itself. So I think I've got it for the most part. Now that we have everything plugged in and new loom on it, everything's tight, the belt's back on, I'm going to go ahead and hook up the battery, and we will try to start it and see what we've got. So just an 8mm here again, guys, hooking up the negative side. And I'm not going to put anything back into place, like the engine cover or the seat back here, until we make sure that we fixed our issue. So we're not tearing it all back apart. That is snug. Now let's start it, and hopefully we're not going to throw the belt off. So I'm going to go start it, and we'll make sure, like I said, that the belt doesn't slip off and we have any other issues. Looks like the belt's in good alignment. No issues there. Let's go take a look in the car. Remember I said that we had a service battery or service charging system error, and it seems to be gone as well. You guys notice there's no battery light flashing. It seems to be charging. I think that this thing shows voltage on the info center. We'll look and see here. I don't remember what it's under though. Of course, we had to reset a bunch of stuff. Maybe it doesn't show charging in here, so we'll just have to deal with checking it out as we drive it. I'm going to take it up and down the road, and then that should be it. But now that we've got that, all we have to do is put our engine cover back on and obviously snap our seat back into place. So to put our engine cover back on, the exact opposite process. You just turn this, take it out, and really all that holds this, guys, is just a little piece in the back here. Get that into its spot, and then we just twist this back into place, and we are set. Need to clean this thing up, guys. It is bad. Now let's go grab the back seat, put it back. The back seat's not too bad either. You just got to make sure that you go in with the bottom first. You grab your seat belts as you're doing it. And then snap the front down. And we are set. We'll go test drive it and make sure everything's good. So I've been driving the car about a mile, and everything seems to be good. So I think that was our issue. Like I said, with it testing out 8 volts and the bearing being bad, chances are the alternator was bad. But the last thing I want to do is I want to set, obviously you're going to have to reset your radio settings because you unplugged your battery, but you're also going to have to calibrate your compass. So you can see it says Cal right there. Hopefully you guys can see that. Sometimes it blinks because the camera doesn't pick it up. But so if you go over here to your information settings, we're gonna have to reset our tires too. But to calibrate compass, so it's the little car picture with an eye on it, and then it says to press the check mark. So we're gonna press it, and now we have to drive in circles. And I just found a parking lot here where I can drive basically in circles until our compass calibrates. That's really the last thing you should have to do. And I like to go maybe a few circles one direction and then go back the other direction as well. Not always do you have to do that, but it seems to me like it calibrates a little quicker when you do it that way. It's gonna make a liar out of me, guys. It's not wanting to calibrate. There, we got it. Calibration complete. You can see the readout there. So now let's go back in and see that it's facing south, and we are indeed facing south. So it looks like, guys, we have got it fixed up. So guys, we're back here at the house, and obviously that did fix our issue, and not really a hard job, to be quite honest with you. If it wasn't for me filming, chances are I probably could have done this in, I don't know, maybe 10-15 minutes, maybe even less, I don't know. And then you obviously got to go get a new alternator, and I will list that part in the description below like always, guys. But normally, like I said, I like to order that because it is a little bit cheaper. I mean, I guess the plus side to that is that if it breaks, I can warranty it out here in town. So I don't know that it's worth it, though, to be quite honest with you. I did want this finished today. That's why I didn't order it. And like I said, we have a ton of other stuff going. So not going. And that's why I wanted to get this finished up today, because we need it. My wife is daily driving it. And I mean, could we drive this other stuff like the Corvette or the truck? Yeah, I could get the truck aligned in one day. Not a big deal. But I just don't, like I said, there's so much salt on the road. I just don't want to deal with that. But guys, hopefully this was informative. Well, hopefully you don't have to fix something like this on yours, but if you do, hopefully it was informative. If it was, guys, like always, please smash that thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed, guys, go down, hit the subscribe button. I promise, I won't do a ton of Buick content. I know we've seen a lot of it here lately with my mom's Buick and this one now, but no, we have other stuff planned. I want to get back on the SS. We are going back together at this point with it, so that is exciting news. And then obviously we want to get some truck content in there hopefully soon. I got a few little odd things I want to do there. And then the Tahoe, we've got some stuff coming for the Tahoe as well as all this other stuff. So we have a ton of stuff in here. But like I said, if you did enjoy it, please smash that thumbs up button, guys. And I have told you a couple times that this thing, the Buick, does need brakes. Chances are you're going to see a video of that in the coming months. But I want to sell the Buick. So once I get my wife's SS done, she will switch to that as a daily driver, since it'll be a lot more tame and daily driver friendly. And then we are going to sell the Buick. So if you guys know anybody that needs a Buick, let me know. But until then, guys, check out the next video where we'll do something different that's not Buick related. And until then, let's check out some of your rides.